All right, so super excited as we watch the numbers, hopefully tick above 800 here, massive webinar. So look, let's not pull the wool over anyone's eyes, right? We are in every nook and cranny in the country. We know that these are not the best of times in most markets. And obviously there's certain markets that are exceptions, but I mean, look, you got like this quadruple, witching hour, right? With, super low inventory, mortgage rates that went from, 3% to 8%, and, sellers that are just waiting for mortgage rates to come down to do anything. And you've got the buyer commission stuff hanging, as a bad hangover, hanging over, and a lot of question marks. And by the way, we are going to be bringing on Mr. James Dwiggins and Keith Robinson, who I think have one of the best podcasts on the subject. And what I love about those guys is that they're actually super optimistic, and they have, I think, a lot of really great reasons why they're optimistic. And so we're going to bring them on in January, and it's going to be a sky is not falling. So make a note of that in January. The sky is not falling. And maybe Michelle, you could post in the chat like when we're going to do that. And it's going to be, these guys are super, super experts. I mean, they've read all the legal docs, like they run a big brokerage. They're just awesome. And not everyone's going to agree with them, but I really like their take on it. And I love their optimistic take on it. We're going to bring them on. So, but going back to what we're doing here. So what we've always liked to do is just be resilient with a capital R. And when things are difficult for our clients, that means things are difficult for us. When our clients are just hitting it out of the park, then we're hitting it out of the park. That's it. That's the partnership. Like our fortunes are completely tied to your fortunes, which makes us great partners. So it has been a very, very difficult year. And as I always said, and I said on stage, what goes up must come down, and what goes down must go up. So we're in the trough, and I promise you it is going to go up. And for those of you that stick with it and stay in it and stay resilient, you're going to feast because you're going to have the market share and you're going to have the best tools. You're going to have the market share and you're going to have the best tools. So what are we doing? We're not running scared. We are spending on development. Like we are pouring our hearts and souls into creating better tooling for when this thing goes nuts. Okay. We are not running scared. So what are we doing? We're doubling down, right? And we're always innovating and tweaking Ylopo and adding, but we did so much, like literally so much. G just called me one day. He's like, dude, this is not just like our normal, like every quarter release some shit. This is literally Ylopo 2.0. And for 8% of Ylopo 2.0, there's no increase in cost. Like it's literally just like speed, site speeds, home search, capabilities, sellers. Well, you guys are going to lose your mind when we get to Ylopo 2.0. It's unbelievable, right? It's just improvements. Doesn't cost you more. Riah is literally becoming its own division, right? Real estate AI is your assistant. We are at the front of it. If you're with us, you're going to be at the front of it. You're going to see a lot of other bullshit out there, and you're going to see these headlines, and we dig in. It's like, it's really like someone put a veneer on ChatGPT, right? That's what it is, right? But we are talking about, we've been doing Riah texting for almost 5 years, millions of conversations. Now we're leading in Raiya Voice with a voice quality that sounds absolutely human. And when Riah Text and Raiya Voice are working together, it's Riah squared. Meaning it is not a 2 + 2 = 4. It's an exponential lift because it's all working together. No one else is going to have that except for the folks that have Riah. Okay. MaverickRE, measurement, accountability, visibility. These are specifically sales analytics and revenue acceleration tools. Not for everybody, certainly going to be for medium to larger teams, because literally you're going to make more money by having these tools. You're going to see all the cracks in the sales funnel. You're going to be proactively being able to tell the agents which of the deals to get on right now. You're going to be coaching up people on their calls. Like there's going to be sophisticated lead routing and distribution. We are obsessed about not just creating some sort of fancy analytics and great, you see some reporting, like literally building action items into Maverick so that you make more money. Like that's what we all need. That's the bottom line. So that's it. We're doubling down. We're spending on Ylopo 2.0, Riah, Maverick. It is 24 is going to be like brutal for us from a workload standpoint, right? But it's going to be amazing as you see the stuff release. And remember, guys, this shit's hard. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, for example, MaverickRE is going to go from MVP to MVP. What does that mean? How do you go from MVP to MVP? It means you go from minimally viable product to most valuable product in the span of 6 to 12 months. Like, that's what it is, right? And we've always said, like, Ylopo 2016, we didn't have anything that we have now. We suck compared to now. It takes time and commitment to building, innovating when everyone else is running scared. G and his team, Barry and Gabe, they're doing what they do. That's it. The sermon has ended. We're now going to hand it over to the smartest guy in the room. G money. Let's go.
Awesome. Well, before I get into all of these new tools that we're releasing in Ylopo 2.0, I just want to point out, and Howard always says this, like 75% of clients don't use 75% of our tools, right? Like, there are literally at this point over 100, I would say, concrete features of Ylopo that's designed to help your business, right? And I think we're so focused on innovation here that oftentimes we talk about the new stuff, but there's a lot of tooling in our system, from open house tools to listing presentations to heat map, all of this kind of stuff that, based on our analytics, like a lot, probably the majority of our clients are not using, right? And so I would really counsel you to reach out to your CSMs, your our CS team here, and just do a year-end review, right? Like, see what you're using, see what you're not using. We send you now a monthly client health report that gives you an overview of all the things you're using, not using, where improvements are, all that kind of stuff. We send out a monthly freemium report to, I think, about 1,200 clients that we've signed up already, that shows you how you are performing from a lead nurture perspective, lead lead prospecting perspective, all that kind of stuff. So we're trying our best to get in front of you, red alert, like features are missing, marketing that needs to be changed, and processes that need to be changed, coaching that needs to happen within your ecosystem, right? And so, the best way to have a comprehensive review is to talk to your CSM, right? And so really counsel all of you guys to do that. Today, this is, going to be a lot of stuff, right? But I'm only talking about new stuff, right? And so we're going to glaze over a lot of the things that I think are pretty exciting, but maybe we released a quarter ago or 2 quarters ago or a year ago, right? And you guys need to know about it. So for today's webinar, say there's a couple of themes that I want to talk about, right? The first is improvement to the consumer experience. How do we improve the consumer experience, especially in these times, so that you guys can compete with the big boys, so that you guys, can, and our average team size on median team size on Ylopo is like 6, right? We've got a lot of single agents. We've got a lot of smaller teams. It's not just the biggest teams in the country that we work with. And, we really focused on what are the tooling that you guys can have that allows you to perform at a size that's bigger than what your current operation looks like, right? So a lot of consumer-oriented experiences. The second is sellers. You're going to see we are changing the paradigm on our side to really focus in on sellers. It's not to say that home searchers are not valuable. In fact, a lot of home searchers are actually sellers. But in terms of the tooling that we provide, we know how important sellers are, inventory is, and we've really focused on that regard. The third is lead prospecting and conversion, right? We have heard from clients loud and clear forever that you guys want transfers and appointments, right? And so you're going to see with Riah texting, Raiya Voice, all the improvements we're making here, how we're taking that step forward, right? I mean, I want our clients to have a very simple paradigm going forward, which is we're going to get new leads in the door. Do you want live transfers and appointments, or do you want to work the leads yourself? There's only those two dichotomies, right? If you want us to work the leads, we've got Riah Squared, text and voice to do that. And we're going to give you live transfers and appointments. If you want to work the leads yourself, totally fine. You should have the systems and process for doing so. And we're going to give you the reporting transparency to know what that looks like, right? And then the last piece is team management and revenue acceleration based on what you can do with your current team, right? Above and beyond what Ylopo does, the equal partnership is with your team and what your team can do, right? And that's up to us to give you visibility into that. And then for you guys to make adjustments to your business practices to blow that up, right? And that's what Maverick is about. So those are the big themes that we're addressing Ylopo 2.0. So let me get going. Guys, I'm going to just steamroll this, but please stop me as always with additional thoughts. And I'm going to jump, by the way, in and out of slideshow view to show you guys some of this stuff live because I think it's just, more concrete. But I'm going to start with IDX improvement. So, I mean, I think this is something we've heard loud and clear from you guys, which is, you need to have the best home search experience with the most relevant and most recent listings, right? That's the bottom line. And, in that sense, I think in the past, for a lot of reasons, both strategic and, marketing oriented, we've failed in that regard, right? And we've heard that from the market loud and clear. And it's something that we have spent a lot of engineering time this year going back and rethinking how we're going to get IDX better. And, we've already made substantial improvements on user experience. Like if you guys have seen your home search site recently, there's so many added features, calls to actions. We have a whole team of engineers and product managers that just focus on home search, right? But the thing that we're most excited about from home search experience perspective is improved refresh rate, right? We've heard of platforms out there who like pull up our site, pull up their site, and it's like, hey, look at this. Like our refresh rate is a lot faster, right? And, using that to sell against us. And I'll just tell you, that's a challenge for us. That's a challenge to my team to say, how do we get this better, right? And we've done that. So we are in the process of improving our site refresh speed by over 80%. Our current goal is to get it under 15 minutes, which we are already doing across a wide variety of feeds where we have 350 feeds. We have to go through each one to optimize it, right? So obviously you guys are going to see this improvement already today, but progressively over the next couple of months here, right? Our goal with a lot of the biggest feeds in the country using the latest technology like Bright, all the MLSs on Trestle, to get that speed down to like 5 minutes. We have proof points where we can do that, right? And so, this is going to turn into from a weakness to a strength for us, right? To give you go ahead.
I was just going to say that like the fact that we have sped up our listings to the consumer. So they hit your MLS and then they go to the consumer on your Ylopo website. That just means a better experience for leads and people searching for homes. That is important for us because rates are high, inventory is low. But if somebody is still searching for a home, that is the best client you're going to have right now. That's the best seller lead that you're going to have right now if they own a home. And so we want them in our fishbowl. And the fact that you guys have done this under the hood improvement, it's going to scale across several aspects of my business. And it's another example of why it's just a smart move for me to trust the ecosystem of Ylopo.
And I know somebody threw in there too, coming soon. And I can, oh, sorry. Oh, I was just going to add in on the coming soon, guys. That's a per MLS that's in there. It's working now. So check that out. Just make sure that you're in communication with your CSM to update any of those features. And then I know there are a couple posts on when some of this stuff is going to be done. As we're going through these, I believe he's showing the timelines. Like right now, some of this is happening now, and we're adding it to everybody's sites over the coming weeks.
And now with confidence, you can communicate to your consumers, you can communicate to your clients, your prospects, hey, stick on this site. Keep your search on this site because you're going to get a buyer's advantage and see listings before lots of slower sites. And they don't know like the refresh rate for like all the sites. You guys know that stuff, but just use it as an advantage to keep them on your site and keep them off the competitor sites.
Yeah. And, in terms of time frame, every single slide here, I have notated what the time frame is exactly. So you guys have expectations on that. Obviously this is a hairy roadmap that we're releasing, I'd say through Q2. Some of the stuff I'm showing you even goes beyond Q2. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that we dream up in between then as well. But these are kind of essentially hard deadlines we've set for our team to get all this stuff done, right? So I just want to show you like our kind of core goal out of the gate is we want to get the refresh rate as high as Zillow and Realtor.com. Or sorry, Realtor.com less, yes, but we really benchmark against Zillow and Redfin. And so, here's a search for Berkeley, Missouri that I just did, right? Here is a search for in Redfin. And here is a search in Ylopo, right? And we're refreshing as quickly as those sites for the St. Louis market at this point, as an example, right? And we're doing 30 MLSs per week right now as we optimize. And so our goal is to get our wave 1 optimization done by the end of December. And then we're progressively releasing newer and newer refresh rate technology through the end of Q1. That's going to optimistically, our goal is to get the vast majority of site refresh rates down to about 5 minutes, right? And certainly if you're on one of the major MLSs, like a Bright, like a T-Reb, like a, Trestle, et cetera, CRMLS, et cetera, we absolutely can get it down to that level, right? The second thing we're doing is we're extending listing alerts, right? I mean, this is another thing that we've heard about from clients, but also, we've researched our competitors on, which is, how long can you nurture leads for? Because buyers just want to buy at different stages, right? They could be 12 months plus, they don't engage, and then they re-engage again. And fact of the matter is, we are very protective of your domain reputation. That's why, we don't oversend emails, but at the same time, we recognize that our best practices sometimes were best practices from 6 years ago, right? And so we've tested into a kind of step-by-step progression to how long we are going to extend email listings alert for, right? And where we concluded is that we are changing our sunset to 18 months, right? What does that mean? That means from the day we send an email, right? If a consumer does not open an email, we are still going to send them emails for 18 months, right? Now, if a consumer engages the email, we don't shut them down, right? We're sending them emails like consistently all the time. That's already happening today, right? But it's for the people that have not engaged for a long period of time, but at some point could jump back in, that we're going to nurture for 18 months, right? That time frame could extend even further in the next couple of years. It won't matter because it's already 18 months, right? So, but we're looking at the analytics to understand that, right?
G, can you quickly remind everybody why it's not indefinite?
Yeah. Basically, if you send emails in perpetuity that are not opened, and your ratio of emails that you send out that are not opened and clicked and marked as spam, your domain reputation goes down, right? And that means that more of your emails are going to be filtered into the updates tab. More of your emails are going to be filtered into the spam tab, right? And in which case it's defeating, self-defeating, because your open rates for the people that you care about who are engaging with the site are going to decrease, right? And so we're very protective of your email reputation from that perspective, right? That being said, and I've got a lot to go through, so I'll just make this last point. Our insight was we've been doing batch refreshes from clients, right? So some clients come to us and they say, hey, let's refresh our listing alerts. And then we're like, oh shit, like 8% of these people came back, right? So, that's the 8% that we want to capture again, right? And so we're going ahead and we're doing that. Now, what we're also doing is we're going back in time. We're going to start with 6 months and we'll see from there. And we are what we call sun rising, which means that we are automatically refreshing the people that qualify to be sunrised again. And we're extending them to 18 months, right? So there's no need to kind of backfill your database, so to speak, anymore. We're just going to do that automatically for everyone, right?
Yeah, so this is the big one, G. Like we talk about this on office hours, guys, every week, and you've seen me doing this for 2 years since I've come on board and created a list to monitor this. We're doing that for you. If they didn't unsubscribe or any of that, and it just got sunsetted, Ylopo's doing this for you. There's nothing that you need to do. It's going to get taken care of.
Yeah, it's off of people that we have, we believe we have authorization to resend to, so they've engaged, they've done something, they registered recently, all that kind of stuff. So we're still being very careful in that process. It's an iterative approach, but we're starting this next week. There's a lot of leads, that we have to unsunset. So it's going to take, we're doing it progressively, waves and waves and waves, but over the next couple of months here, I'd say 60 days, or less, we are going to so we're going to sunrise the leads that make sense for us to sunrise within your system, right?
So
friendly reminder, guys, we've
people,
only done 2 features and we got a long way to go. So let's just keep going. Go ahead,
before
Barry,
I say that, when these leads re-engage your website. So we're going to bring these people back instead of just taking the month of December off and not caring that John Smith looked at the same home 3 times. Call John Smith and just say, hey, did you ever find a home? I was going to archive your file. I figured I'd check. A third of the people that answer the phone on our team when we do that, we set an appointment with. So don't squander this resurgence of website activity. Capitalize on it by actually talking to them. All right, go ahead.
Awesome. So in the same vein, you know, our branded website is, I think, from a design perspective, customization perspective, the best in the industry, right? And that's why we built it on top of Squarespace. But a common issue is site speed, you know, and a lot of that has to do with image optimization, with all of the content that our clients put on these sites, etc. And, you know, clients will email me in the past and say, hey, I went on Google Webmasters and I'm ranking a 46, right? Kind of embarrassing, you know? And so we went, and this has been a year-long journey to create what we call our branded site Lightning Edition, right? And this Lightning Edition, the goal is to score 95 to 99% Google, right? Which means that they recognize this is top of the line from a performance perspective, right? Let me just show you guys. So this is an uncached website, right? That I'm gonna load. That was it. Just loaded.
Bam.
Right? And that is the level that we are going to get to for all of your sites. Now, again, this is progressive. It's happening, you know, right now, right? And there's, you know, the vast majority of clients who are on a templatized website that you haven't edited too much, that we will be able to just implement and you're going to get it, right? And then there's going to be clients who have customized your website considerably that we're going to have to go in and do a lot of stuff to essentially rebuild. And so, you know, it's going to happen in waves, but it's almost a little bit of a reverse wave where we're going to have a massive wave, say 60% of our clients, and then we're going to reach out to you one by one to talk about customization of your site and how we optimize, right? We may have to take out a photo. We may have to degrade the quality of a video. You know, there are just things that we're going to have to do, but this is happening as well right now. One of the things I'm most excited about, I think all of us are most excited about, is we are launching a complete redo of our seller platform, right? And, you know, there's a lot of reasons for this, you know, but the primary one is we just want to add more features to this experience, right? And, you know, also you guys are going to see there is a significant emphasis going forward for us on the seller side from a lead generation, lead nurture perspective, AI perspective, everything, right? And that means that we have to have a seller experience that consumers love, and we need to be able to get massive signals from the seller experience, right? So we rethought this from the ground up, and you know, we're really excited to present what we've got. The release date on this is in the January timeframe. We're going to start rolling this out. It will be progressive, and we will obviously be mindful of some people who are doing a lot of customization on HomeBot, et cetera, you know, that want to continue using that platform, right? So we will have on and off switches for this. You know, we think obviously there's V1, V2, V3, V4. We have a whole team devoted to this, and it's going to get better and better. But we think our version 1 is a substantial improvement, right? So let me take you guys through this really quickly. First and foremost, one of the biggest feedbacks we get from our clients is agent branding, right? And so every single alert going forward is going to use the assigned data from Follow Up Boss to pull in the agent, pull in their contact information. Everything is branded to the agent, right? We're going to provide an AVM that is from a top tier AVM provider. It's going to show an estimated home value and its absolute number, and then a low and a high, right? You know, we've heard feedback. Some people like Zestimates as well as a, you know, as a hedge against this. You know, we'll kind of look at different options, but we're going to provide one solid value right now and a low and a high with the ability to tune your home value, right? We're going to show all their home value market trends, how much equity they have in the home. So we're still pulling in mortgage data, all of that data in here as well. And we're adding in a lot of unique features to this seller experience that I don't think any other platform has because they don't have the data, right? And so one example is that we're actually able to take the address, take the zip code, take the bedroom, bath, etc., and query your database to find out how many of your buyers are looking for that home, right? So you can walk into the listing presentation or call to action, help me schedule a private showing for our clients, right? And if you go into mission control, you can get that list into a spreadsheet format. And so you can walk into that listing presentation with this data that is going to help you outcompete anyone else that's coming in, right? Because you're already coming in with buyers, right? You know, home details, market trends, we license Altos data already and put all of their key stats in here. So, you know, it's the best industry, you know, market trends data that's out there. All of the market trends analysis, et cetera, is from Altos. And then we connect this to our home search experience, right? And so you're able to see sold listings, active listings, pending listings, all in the same place as well, right? And I'd say another important part of the reason that why we built this native is because everything that you are doing on this experience is now tracked by Ylopo, right? So you click tune your home value, help me understand, you know, contact to learn more, whatever the calls to actions are, whatever the engagements are from the consumer, we know, and now we can specifically alert you about what they wanted to do in the system. And then we can tweak our AI against that, right? So there's going to be specific behavioral texting messages, eventually specific Raiya Voice conversations that are going to function off of what the seller actually is interested in from their engagement experience, right? And that's going to, orders of magnitude, we think, increase the conversion rate into engagement and conversations with consumers. Anything else, you guys?
We've been working on this for a year. And, you know, one of my favorite things about HomeBot was that it did the math, right? It showed and had what the home was worth, what the loan amount, estimated loan amount was, and then it did the math and showed the equity. And with this new seller alert, we still have that, right? We still have how much equity they have. And we have things that nobody has. So nobody is sending a report on how much equity you have and how many buyers are currently searching for a home on their website. And so, you know, the fact that we've been able to take years of learning on how to keep homeowners' attentions and iterate on what I believe to be one of the most popular lead conversion, sitting in front of a homeowner and showing your database and how you have buyers for them. The fact that we're able to automate that now, it's just another way to keep consumers engaged. And you know, to me, there was always this disconnect with, you know, they're clicking on HomeBot and how does that impact Raiya and Ylopo? And so now to have all of these calls to actions feeding AI so that then AI can reach out accordingly, it's really in touch with what the market needs right now. Wouldn't you agree, Gabe?
Yeah, 100%. I know there's some common questions you want to hit, and we know we got to move on, but people currently that are in HomeBot, will they automatically get moved over to this, or are they going to have to do it manually?
No, you're automatically going to get moved to it. We're looking at if it makes sense to backdate your links. I don't know if it will or not. Probably not, to be honest with you. It's a big undertaking. I'm not sure the value, but you know, we will make this as seamless as transition as possible, right? Yeah. And also, if you want to keep HomeBot, you know, we'll have an on and off switch for you, right?
Yeah. And then the teams versus having a team account, the assigned agent. So I saw that one slide through there a few different times.
So let's highlight that because, you know, right now HomeBot is one account for a whole license and everybody's kind of sharing that, but this will respect the assigned agent. So instead of, you know, if my agent John, for example, the lead's assigned to him, it'll show his information at the top, not my information, so that now my agents can have their own branding, you know, separate from the team name and things like that, which everybody needs.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I see some comments in here about how we will work with other platforms, you know, and I'll just say this, have a lot of respect for other seller experiences that are out there. And, you know, there are people who are devoting more resources than we are to our seller experience. And we recognize that, right? And if you want to use something else, that's totally fine. We're actually working on a project to consume those signals from Follow Up Boss so that we can do what we do with Raiya texting and behavioral and all that kind of stuff, right? I would say the main advantage in you know, above and beyond, you know, all the things that you guys are seeing here is the integration from a data perspective into our automation suite, right? You got Riah texting, you got Riah Voice, you've got everything else from remarketing, et cetera, all tied into the engagement on this platform, right? And that is something that no one else in the industry has.
Yeah, and Barry and I are spending a lot of time, like I said, working on this over the last year to make sure each section, each action has different triggers, so you can really dissect that information to see what's coming in and what's happening versus one blanket HomeBot engaged tag. So
well, and look, I mean, yeah, and Gabe, I remember the meeting we're in. We literally took every feature from all the different seller nurture platforms and went side by side. And this seller alert in its current iteration has more features than anything else available on the market. And then when you combine it with the fact that Ylopo's nurture system is engaged with it, so now you have true AI working alongside of the seller engaging. It's truly transformative as far as seller nurture is concerned.
All right, I know we got to move.
Yeah. So, we are licensing. This is not just like point and click AVM data. We are licensing nationwide AVM data, and we're going to weaponize that from a giving you guys that information perspective as well as AI perspective, right? So you're literally going to get a priority no. Homeowner values have increased by over $5,000 this month. Go call that person, right? Click here to go see their their alert, right? So we're weaponizing nationwide AVM and mortgage data for all of your leads as well. And we're going back and doing that for your entire database, right? It's not just going forward basis. That itself for other platforms will cost you thousands of dollars. We're doing this for you for free, right? We will, actually scan your seller addresses in the system. So I highly encourage all of you guys to upload leads with seller addresses in here. And we're going to give you intel on which of those properties are just listed and just sold, right? So you have transparency into of your database, who are sellers, and, have they listed their property and sold that property in action based on that data. Now, one of the critical reasons that we've done the seller experience is new lead generation, right? And we've already seen it. We have clients who are shifting their, home search traffic over to seller traffic. And, we challenge ourselves, right? We said, well, how are we going to generate not just the highest quality seller leads in the industry, but do it at volume, right? What if 50% of our clients said, I only want to do seller marketing? What are we going to do? How are we going to fulfill that demand, right? And we tested sellers every which way to Sunday. And the most compelling offer by far for clients is get a cash offer, right? And Open Doors proved this. Zillow has proved this. Other people have proved this. This is the mousetrap. This is the mousetrap consumers want. They want an instant offer, right? Now, we all know instant offer is the beginning point of a conversation, but in terms of having that as the call to action, that's what we found most be effective, right? In our testing, we've been able to get cash offer lead generation down to $20 a lead. It's gone up a little bit in the wintertime, but that's what we're seeing in a consistent market. And of those seller leads, remember, we see all your data in Follow Boss, right? So we're tracking all of your stages. And so we're measuring not just cost per lead. Who cares at the end of the day? It's a vanity stat. We're looking at how many leads go to a qualified lead stage, right? And it's 21%. So you're essentially getting, by this math, a qualified lead for roughly around $100 on the seller side. That's pretty phenomenal, right? Now, seller cash offers, fantastic.
You should probably qualify. What does that mean? What does that mean, qualified lead?
Hot lead, A leads, B leads, C leads, leads that have been dispositioned to a stage that it basically means that an agent has talked to that lead and they're in some stage of buying intent or selling intent. Awesome. Okay, so you have cash offers, as a hook, right? But how many of our clients actually have a cash offer, right? Remember, our average team or median team is 6 agents, right? We've got a lot of the big guys that have cash offers, but the problem with cash offers marketing at scale is that most of our clients don't have access to it, right? And if you don't have access to it, you can't talk to it, you can't do lead generation to it, right? So we have decided to license for you guys a nationwide, with the exclusion of Hawaii and Alaska, cash offer platform, okay? That means for 90% of our agents, I'll talk about Canada in a second, you are now going to be able to offer your consumers a full cash offer, right? And this is a platform called Zoodealio. And we have just licensed this platform. It's free to you for all of our clients, right? Go to their website. This is a product that by itself on a base cost basis is $500 to $1,000. We decided this was so important, especially for shift to sellers, that we're just going to license it to all, right? So you're all going to get a login to Zoodealio. You're going to get alerts from Zoodealio of cash offers associated with every new lead and existing lead in your database, right? So we're going back in time. We're taking all of your millions of seller leads we have in our system, and we are appending a cash offer to those leads as well, right? Let me just show you real fast. And I know you got a lot of stuff buried to cover on this, but here's what the experience looks like, right? So new lead comes in. Every lead is going to get a dashboard. This is the agent view. There's a consumer view as well, right? And you're going to see at the highest level, real value for this property, which is an AVM, right? And then you're going to see options, right? For a pure cash offer, it's 713. For a cash offer plus, it's baseline value. That's a whole program that Zoodealio has. You guys are going to have to get trained on it, etc. But it's really cool. But you know, sell now, move later, etc. So you're going to have all these options. And by the way, if there's a wholesaler in your area that has an offer, it's going to show here. And you can input your own offers, right? So for anyone who has a cash offer that you want to display, all you have to do is add it, right? And, you know, and then you're going to be able to go in here because you're all going to have access to Zoodealio. We'll license this. This is, you know, for you guys. You're getting the whole platform. You can, at any given time, find a cash offer yourself, right? So just, you know, you want, your neighbor wants a cash offer, you go in here, you submit a home address, add the details, and it's going to give you a cash offer, right? So super awesome platform. We're really excited about it. Guys?
Yeah, look, I mean, this cost me $1,000 a month, just Zoodealio. Okay. So like this alone just is putting money back in my pocket. But the impact of this is twofold. And I'm just going to say it this
Barry,
way.
can you up your marketing budget by 1,000 then?
Yes.
More leads.
Yes. Checks in the mail. Yes. So yeah, and actually Kyle just said he's spending 1,000 on another seller alert product. So, but all I was going to say is this: what I'm teaching my agents to do is there is a degree of clout when you're connected to money, right? So when you're getting these cash offer leads, you get to say to these homeowners, "Look, I'm going to have 3 or 4 cash offers into you for you to review with no obligation in just 2 days, maybe even sooner. While we're waiting for those cash offers, I want to stop by and walk your property," right? You having access to all this money, instant credibility. The homeowners are like, you know what? Sure, no problem. You go visit them. You say, look, those cash offers are going to be coming in. I'm going to be presenting them to you. I think that I could probably get you a little bit more in some situations in the MLS. And now you've got a listing. And so this is not, you're going to get commission when you sell a home to Zoodealio, like it's baked into it. But I want you guys to think about the leverage that this is providing you in your conversations with homeowners. You got instant credibility with this. Wouldn't you agree, Gabe?
Yeah, the conversations and just, I mean, this is now allowing you to add more options in your listing presentations, all of that. So it goes even beyond just the people that you're going to be, you know, getting these offers for, just what it does for your marketing overall. And like what you said, the clout that comes with it. So a huge, huge opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And for our Canadian, Hawaiian, Alaska clients, you will still get access to Zoodealio and the Dash. You just need to submit your own cash offer, right? So you will still have access to the system. You know, obviously we don't have a cash offer in those places because it's not in the Zoodealio buy box, but you can do it yourself, right? So this platform is available for all Canadian clients, etc. And by the way, that's true for the seller experience as well. You're going to get the seller experience. You're going to get everything in the seller experience, but the data we don't have, we're going to hide, right? So you're still going to get sold listing data there, you know, recently pending, recent data, you know, et cetera. And then in the back end, we're building out a way for you guys to update your own home valuation within stars, right? And so, you know, for the leads that matter that you want to send an alert to with AVM, you're going to be able to update that yourself, right? So we are very conscious of our Canadian clients.
Time check, boys. It's 11:45. I knew this was way too ambitious to go over all of Ylopo 2.0 in an hour, but we gotta do
how much does Zoodealio and the seller alert cost our users?
Nothing. We're paying for
Okay,
it.
just want to make sure. All right,
Wait,
just want to make sure.
the seller's experience. Wait, there's not a charge to get that whole new seller experience.
Is there a limit to homeowners you can add?
Nope. You can add as many as you want. It's all in here. So you know, we're doing a complete revitalization and on our video branded ads. I won't play this because we don't have time, but just know that we are refreshing all of our branded video ads, playing on Facebook, YouTube, all these different places to target your database and tell them now about all of these unique tools that you have. On the cash offers lead generation side, we are doing that today. And you know, we're going to roll that out in a really big way and ping you guys about what budget you want to spend on cash offers, whether it's shifting or more, come in that January through March timeframe as we roll this out progressively. If you want to do cash offers today, we are looking for beta testers, right? I don't have a form for you because I didn't have time, but if you email my head of marketing strategy, Josh Frankel at jfranco@ylopo.com, he will be the point person to set you guys up, right? So jfrankel@ylopo.com. If you miss this, then just email your CSM and we will flood Josh with emails. He doesn't even know I put this here, by the way. So he's going to be very
surprised. And just because I'm actually even getting text messages and some Facebook messages direct outside this, if we can just make sure, like, guys, a lot of this is just what you already have, right? If you have this and we're showing you improvements to something you already have, like seller experience things, the website and all, there's not a charge for this. There's not, you're paying more for the faster site or you're paying more for this new seller experience. This is the 2.0 version of what you currently have if you already have it. So I just want to make sure that's really clear. So I'm getting messages, how much, where do we sign up?
Yeah, 100%. You're just going to get this, right? It's going to roll out progressively, obviously, because we want to make sure nothing breaks, but you're just going to get this, right? Now, cash offers is great, but that being said, we are seeing tremendous traction in sellers from your home searcher leads, right? These are your bread and butter leads. 26% of home buyers coming into, you know, a home for sale in Santa Monica say they need to sell before they buy. Those are all seller leads, right? 35% of those home owners say yes, they want to get a cash offer, right? So you are getting a lot of seller leads from your quote unquote buyer advertising. We want to highlight that. And you'll see, we're going to start working all of these with AI for you, right? On the home search.
That's about 8 out of every 100. You know, that's you got a quarter of your home search leads, quote unquote buyer leads, are self-identifying as the need to sell, which is actually low because it's actually, some people don't self-identify as they need to sell, but they still do need to sell actually. So it's actually much higher than that. And then you've got at least sort of 8 or 9 of the out of every 100 that are basically saying, yeah, show me the cash offer. And that's just the world's greatest listing lead right there. I mean, like, you're just going to, like, you need to go get that listing. That's not about them accepting the cash offer, right? That's you getting the listing. I think that there's so much meat on the bones here with each one of these features, Gabe and Barry. You know, I think that we need to chunk out each of these sections for future webinars, you know, maybe starting like right after the holidays, and do like, let's do, okay, we've got the whole cash offer thing in the ecosystem. You know, how are we using it? Like, it's not just like, here's the tech, but also how are we using all this different stuff that we're releasing, because there's so much of it. And let's maybe chunk this into sort of 3 or 4 or 5 distinct drill down webinars. And this one is just like the, you know, top of the, you know, summary of like everything, but there's a lot of brainstorm drill down that we can do with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a lot of fuel for office hours as well, right? How other people using it. So we'll have a lot of opportunities to get this in there.
Awesome. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So we're not stopping with cash offers and all this kind of stuff. You know, that's all obviously innovative, but Ylopo 2.0 is about uplifting what you've already got, right? And one of the things that we're most excited about for our bread and butter marketing is what's called Google Pmax, which means that we are extending home search lead generation, not just in Google, but to display advertising, YouTube, and Gmail, right? 3 really, really big channels of advertising that we've never touched before. And we are seeing a 30% reduction to cost per lead on Pmax, right? So standard PPC right now this month, $11.44, Pmax $8.20, right? And when we look at the stage data, again, we have all the stages. We're looking for qualified leads. Standard PPC is 19%, Pmax 21%, right? So these are basically comparable or better leads at a third of the price, right? And so we're expanding Pmax significantly. Again, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay extra. This is just happening. And we're extending it to all of our clients. So, one of the things
the result being it's more leads. It's more leads. It's more leads for your budget. That's
leads for your budget. That's right. Yeah. So, one other, request from our clients that we frequently get is, hey, would Ylopo build a iPhone app, right? And, bottom line is we've looked into it and it's just not core to our competencies in terms of what we're good at. And so we still want to offer that to all of our clients, right? And as a result, we have partnered with Ruuster to do a full end-to-end integration, two-way integration to give you guys an app if you choose to want to, right? Now, this is not free.
Shout out to original gangster Randy Carroll and team for being persistent.
I know they chased us for like 2 years on this. We finally
Randy
did.
is just dogging us, man, but we love it.
Come into all of our conferences. Yeah,
love that guy. Love that guy.
So with Ruuster, we looked at all of the apps out there, right? And we think Ruuster by far is the best. And we are covering $200 of Ruuster cost for teams. I believe I forgot their exact pricing, but we're covering $200 of that. So you're getting a huge discount on their platform. And we're really excited to use it. A lot of our biggest teams already use it today. They're really excited about
using it. Yeah, it's good.
Barry's using it. And apologize to Randy. I'm going to skip the promo video, even though it's awesome. And we will send it around promoting Ruuster. But last thing I'll say is some key differentiators on it. It's a white labeled app, right? If you use another platform for mobile application, they're basically giving you their app, right? And so a consumer is downloading their app and then it's branded to the agent. That does not differentiate you from Zillow or Realtor or anyone else, right? You're downloading someone else's app. This is actually your white labeled application. It's going to have your team on it.
Let's be very clear, because not everybody knows white label. Most people do, but like this is your brand. It's just like with Ylopo, like no consumers know who Ylopo is. No buyers and sellers know who Ylopo is. It's all about your brand, your brand, your brand, your message. You're right. This is the same thing, same philosophy we share with Ruuster. This is all about your brand, not about the Ruuster brand. And that's just amazing.
Yeah. And like I had to go through like Ruuster used my Apple account to create my app in the App Store. So it's my team's app. It's Ruuster, but the fact that they're integrated and I'm able to automatically add leads as they come in, they get an invite to our mobile app now. And the clients that prefer the mobile app experience, that data feeds back and forth between Ylopo. And so now I'm not losing search data. The consumer gets to search for homes the way that they want. Our market deprecated HomeSnap. Homes.com bottom, and my agents were using HomeSnap for their mobile app. So there wasn't one in our area. And so the Ruuster app has just become like the wildfire on my team. Agents that don't even like online leads are using the Ruuster app to keep their leads in their sphere, incubated. So it's just an incredible partnership between the two companies.
Yeah, and we don't make a penny whether you use Ruuster or not. Like that's not how we roll. We've never done that. We don't do that. We're just trying.
Oh, we don't?
No,
take it all back then.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So much for that extra budget.
So we're just using our economies of scale to negotiate amazing deals, and you can see like in the Zoodealer stuff, completely pay for stuff for our clients. So that's just selfishly, this is all about trying to get you guys stop spending in 10 different directions, right? Because you're like, I got this, I'm paying, I'm drowning all these bills. We're just going to keep every year adding more stuff so that you can actually spend it where you want to spend it, which is going to be on more leads. Because stealing a little thunder, we're really rolling here more towards getting you appointments versus getting you leads that turn into appointments, that we help you turn into appointments, because it's just hard to chase leads forever, right? But we are, with AI, going to be going full circle where you're going to be getting hot transfers and you're going to be getting appointments, which is what you really want, versus drowning in leads all the time. Still a little thunder. We have so much amazing stuff. We got to keep going here, guys.
Got to keep going. Okay, cool. So we are, a lot of you have already heard this. We are integrating Raiya texting and the future Raiya Voice into the FUB Inbox. You know, we released it to a beta group. They give us a lot of good feedback. We're working on stuff. FUB's working on stuff. We're going to get more people on it in December. And our goal is a wide release to all of our clients in Q1, right? So keep in mind, each of these like could be an hour webinar, right? And we're going to have to do a lot of training to share all this with you guys. So don't worry, we're not going to just spring all this stuff on you, right? In addition to nationwide AVM and mortgage data, we are also going to license for you demographic nationwide data, right? Contact data and demographic data, right? The reason we're doing this is because we know there's a lot of leads that come through that give you bad contact information, right? So we are going to append additional email addresses for those leads that we found based on their demographic profile. And we're going to use ChatGPT to summarize for you the demographics of that particular person. So you're going to get a note. Jerry Mason is a male residing in this address and owns a single family home. He is married, has an estimated high income, speaks Spanish, works from home, is a veteran, has credit card, and holds a medium wealth score, blah, 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 right? And so we're going to add those as notes to your leads to give you context when you call those people. And, you know, we probably won't do this out of the gate, but we are going to also then do propensity scoring, right? And so give you buy-sell scores, all that kind of stuff, use that as signals to do texting and email.
I mean, this alone is huge. This is huge. This is almost like a small thing compared to all the other giant bombs. Like, this is massive. You know, it kind of annoyed me. There was someone in another community and like, G was like, well, Ylopo 2.0. This was like maybe, I don't know, a month ago or something. He was like, just like getting so excited about unveiling Ylopo 2.0. And like literally the first comment out of the gate, you know, on social media was some hater, some guy who was just like, his one word, he was like, yawn. Didn't even read anything. Didn't read any of this stuff that we're releasing that these guys have been literally sleepless nights breaking their backs on. He could just be negative and just say yawn. But then I go research this dude. And he was literally asking follow-up boss like a few months ago, can you add data to the leads so I know more about the leads, right? Literally asking for that. Didn't read the shit that we're doing. And this is it. Like, this is what this guy was asking for. And anyway, I had to tell that story, but like this itself is massive. Like, to get more like buyer propensity or seller propensity stuff, know more about the leads so you can have more educated conversations with them. Like, people have been asking for this for a long time, and it's just embedded in this huge laundry list of Ylopo 2.0. I love this feature. I love it.
Yeah, this is more of like a Q2. I say plus because it's going to take us time to iterate through all this feature set, but we are licensing that data very soon. Very expensive, but we're doing it.
Whoa.
We're going to do it for all of your leads. That's the distinction, right? Like, we're not just doing this for your new leads or whatever. We're going back in time. We're going to do this for all of the millions of leads in our database, right? So,
well,
doubling down, baby, doubling down.
One thing, you know, Ylopo has built this big database for those of us that have been buying it, and keeping the consumer's attention and navigating through this challenging market. It's difficult. And one of the reasons why I linked my horn with you guys back in 2016, why other people linked their wagons up with you guys, you know, why we have such a passionate community is because you're helping us not only keep the consumer's attention, but data like this demographic scoring is allowing me to save time and energy so that now my sales team of 80 agents, they're only calling people that are very likely to transact either through website behavior, demographic data. And this stuff just works. And so as this market continues to be what it's going to be, you guys have the resources available to you to be different in your market and thrive. And so this is an incredible opportunity. If you don't know how to use these tools, email support and say, look, I want to learn. I want somebody to teach me. We have a whole training team dedicated to this, and we'll do some webinars too.
100%. So Raiya texting is going to the next level. It already went to the next level this year with a lot of the innovation we've done with large language models. And, you know, really proud of our AI team to like continue iterating on this and make it even better. And, you know, let me just show you the new style messaging that is going to be sent out. And this is probably progressively rolling out in Q1. You know, so I'm going to jump ahead.
Hi, Gary. This is Riah, Melissa's assistant.
Real consumer conversation. Right?
With XYZ Brokerage. Did you ever find that house you were looking for in the area? I have several listings that might work on our website. Here's a link. Also, if you're not interested in being texted, just say stop. As G claim, would you like me to text it to you or email it? Melissa's assistant with XYZ Brokerage.
Email is best.
Got it. I'll make sure to email you the property details. Are you considering making a move anytime soon?
Probably within the next 6 months.
That's great to hear. Planning ahead is always a good idea. Have you begun thinking of a general area you'd like to live?
Prefer downtown Sarasota. Condo.
That's a great choice. Downtown Sarasota offers a vibrant and convenient lifestyle. What price range are you considering at this time?
1 to 2 million.
With that budget, we can definitely find some amazing options for you. Another question I have is regarding the bedrooms and bathrooms. How many would your perfect house have of each?
3 bed, 2.5 bath.
A 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom condo in downtown Sarasota sounds like a fantastic choice. I'll keep that in mind as I search for properties that match.
You guys get it. I mean, pretty crazy conversation, right? Like, this is as good or better than I think any person could answer. And this is coming across the board for Riah Text, right? The next piece is Riah Voice. We've done a lot of webinars on this. We've talked to all of our clients about this. So if you haven't heard about Riah Voice, then you know, you're not paying a lot of attention to the Ylopo universe, right? But Riah Voice is our AI platform for calling all of our leads like a outbound sales ISA would, and ferociously working that lead until they convert for you, right? We're calling way more than our average client is calling their leads. I'm just going to play a quick bit of conversation. A lot of you have already heard this. I'm just table staking it for the people who haven't.
Hello?
Hi, Alicia.
Uh-huh.
Hi. I'm a digital assistant with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate on a recorded line. I'm following up with you regarding the home search profile that you submitted. What is it that brought you to our website?
I'm actually planning on moving down to the coast. I'm not sure if I'm going to move to North Carolina coast or South Carolina coast.
Oh, okay.
But I was just looking to see what might be available when I decide to do this.
Awesome. What time frame did you have in mind?
Super naturalistic voice, you know, great conversations, and it's just getting better day by day, right? This is what's called human-assisted AI. That means that it is AI on the front end, but we do have a person as backup in the Philippines watching these conversations, guiding these conversations so they don't go awry, right? And, you know, the stats speak for themselves. We have a live call center as well. They are calling the leads alongside AI as we test the efficacy of AI, which has been released for a couple weeks now. And our current human-assisted AI is currently beating our live call center by 35% on live transfers. And over the last like a couple of days, it's like 50%, right? I mean, this shit works, you know? It's the best practice scripting from Barry and Gabe. You basically get them as ISAs, and you have the best voice quality, best conversation quality, and it is dogged, right? It does not stop. It does not take nights off. It does not have vacations, and it is just grinding away. Now, the stats that I wanted to share with you on this is on a per call basis, right? So that means when we make phone calls, 100 phone calls, our connect rate on those 100 phone calls is 8%, right? The appointment set rate, 1.7, transfer rate, 1.9, combined 3.6, right? Now, why am I showing you this? The aggregate transfer rate, connection rate, obviously is much higher because we're calling one lead like 10 times, right? But if you only make one phone call to a lead, these are the numbers you're going to see, which is 8% of the people you talk to. If you are really good, 3.6% of those people you get as a legitimate buyer that you're working with, right? That's the stats, right? So, you know, for our average client that's calling 1.2 times per lead, this is the best that you can expect, right? That is why you need AI working tirelessly, doggedly for you, because we're going to dial way more than that. We're going to get your connection rate from 8% to 20 to 28%, right? Your combined, you know, transfer rate from 3.6 to 14, right? Like, you are missing the tail of 60 to 70% of the valuable leads you have if you only call leads once, which is what our average client is doing. That's why we believe AI is so important.
And G on that, as somebody just mentioned me, they're like, you and Barry aren't really diving into this. Absolutely. I was in Virginia Beach last week, sitting at table with Barry, working through this. Call yesterday, a call this morning, nitpicking single little words. Like, that's not how we would do that. Like Barry and I role playing this and going through, and even to the point for priority alerts now, right? So not just new leads, but a priority alerts getting called by this. So we are absolutely diving in there. We're using it. So we're trying to make this as perfect as possible to get these numbers up for everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, and what's interesting about it is if you think about the evolution of a salesperson, when they first start, you give them a script and you say these things. And then as they get better, you start to say things to the salesperson like, all right, make this your own. Here's some kind of mile markers or fence posts I want you to avoid, right? And they start to make it their own. That is AI. AI is no longer tell me what to say. AI is now, they call it a language learning model. And so Gabe and I are sitting with a team of machine learning experts, and they're telling us, here's the prompts that we need. What would you say? How do you teach your salespeople to say these things? And so literally, Gabe and I are pouring into Raiya to make her the best lead conversion tool the industry has ever seen. And we have spent hours, weekends, nights, texting back and forth, sending recordings, judging voices. And that is why this is working so well.
And a little debating even this morning. Like, I was like, no, Barry, let's role play it. Let's just role play this to see. Like, it's been awesome. We love it.
Well, you got me when I am finished doing what I got to do. I'm coming back and we're hitting it hard, the three of us, because I still want to declutter the combo a little bit.
This is the struggle.
It's going to be like, no, Barry, what are you really saying? What are you really saying here? Okay, that's the way we're going.
I love it. I love it.
So a lot of Raiya Voice enhancements coming. We are extending Raiya Voice to call new leads for 90 days from 30 days. We're going to call these leads for 90 days, right? Now, past that 90 days, we're still going to call those leads. They're just going to be part of the database nurture stuff that I'm going to show you guys in a second. So we're going to persistently call your leads forever. That's our goal. If we have opt-in and we can call those guys, we're going to call those guys, right? Raiya Voice.
Look, if people are confused, let me just bring it up a level. Like we are committing to try to get to 15%, literally, of every 100 leads that we someday can get you a hot transfer or an appointment. Like that's the bottom line. And does it end up at 14% or 14.3%, whatever it is? We're going to die trying to get to that 15%. Right now, it's all about calling all your new leads. Stage 2, we are going to unleash calling your entire database forever, right? We're going to call non-Ylopo leads, not just Ylopo leads. You know, like we're just going to keep progressing and hang with us. Remember, MVP to MVP, minimally viable product to most valuable product. It takes time. And just like with Raiya texting, which 5 years ago wasn't anywhere near where it is today, same thing with Raiya Voice. We just promise to be out in front and be better and not be using some generic AI tooling that everyone else has. You're going to have proprietary shit that is next level from what you can get anywhere else.
Yep. So Raiya Voice will work all your seller leads, all of your home search leads that have seller intent. We're going to work. Raiya Voice is going to work third-party leads. We're working on all this today, right? It's we just got out of a meeting talking about all of this stuff. One thing I'm super excited about, some of you may notice this, you know, we're going to have multiple voices for you to choose from. We just launched our new second female voice yesterday, right? And what's great about voices is if it's AI, I can multivariate test what's good, what's bad, right? Some of them are going to work in some areas, some are going to work in others. You're going to have personal preferences, accents, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to give you a lot of selection from that perspective. There was 13 voices that Barry, Howard, Gabe, and I were like whittling down over the and
I wake up in the morning and I check my phone, and the first thing is I got like 13 voices I have to check, and Gabe and Barry and I are always doing it. But look, at the end of the day, like you might have your personal favorites that you think are the best voices, but as G just said, we'll split test them, we'll multivariate testing. Like if the stats are that her voice with this slight accent is better than his voice with that slight accent, like that's what we should use because it's just converting higher. That's what we're just going to keep testing.
Yeah, 100%. See a couple questions. We will absolutely work Realtor.com leads, Zillow leads, portal leads in general. We're looking at other third-party sources that we have compliance for. A lot of details there. You know, we're looking through DNC. All of that stuff is figured out. Compliance, you know, we spent a ton of money on to make sure this is the most compliant product in the market. All of that good stuff. Oh, and by the way, Raiya Voice works Canadian clients. Just got confirmation of that yesterday, right? So we are going to release you guys in the December timeframe. So very excited about that as well for all of our Canadian clients.
We have to eventually get some Canadian accents. A lot of people are asking about Spanish. G, what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, at some point in the end of Q1, early Q2, we'll have that. Yeah, awesome. We'll have Chinese, we'll have, you know, whatever you want, right? Because that's what AI is for. But no, Spanish is a huge need. We are also going to work your database, right? And we are testing this live out today, right? This is not, you know, future, right? And we're looking to aim to release this in end of Q1 because there's a lot of compliance stuff. There's a lot of, you know, other stuff. But, you know, fortunately for Gabe and Barry, they are the guinea pigs, and we are calling through the database and seeing some amazing results. Let me play you a demo video.
Hello.
Hello, is this Selena?
This is she.
Yes, hi, this is Alex, the digital assistant from Robert Slack Real Estate, calling on a recorded line. I'm following up on the home search profile you submitted a while ago. We didn't see if you ever found that home you were looking for before, and we were curious if you were still thinking of making a move.
I am. I just paid something off of my credit report. Like, I had one collection on there. It was like $400 or whatever, and I just paid it off. And besides that, I only have my car payment, so I'm hoping that that'll boost my credit up.
Okay, I'm glad you've started working on this. It's a good idea to still speak with my agent, as sometimes the credit requirements for buying vary greatly and can be confusing.
Okay. Do I have to make an appointment?
Yes, I can schedule a call for you.
Okay.
When would be a good time for you to chat with Gabe?
Probably tomorrow.
So, you know, the reason I show you this is because what we found is that conversations for new leads can be fairly linear, right? You know, it's you register on the website, are you looking to buy this, that, and the other? Let me transfer you, right? But when I'm hitting up a database with leads that are like 6 years old, these people have like conversations all over the place. You know, I just got a divorce. I have credit issues, this, that, and the other. And AI has to be able to handle every permutation of those calls, right? That's why the database challenge is significantly greater than the new lead challenge. But you guys can see already here, you know, how we are building AI to be able to handle those type of conversations. We're really excited about this technology.
And by the way, that voice quality is fine, but we're already working with much better voices. So it's just going to keep, you know, that it was a little bit AI, you know, but like we, Barry, Gabe, and I are very sensitive to anything that sounds at all AI. We want it. It's just going to be a continual push to be human.
Awesome. You know, on the last thing is I will end on Maverick. You know, Maverick is still in its infancy. You know, it's just a couple of months released, and there's feature galore coming. You know, highly recommend you guys take a demo on that product because you're going to absolutely love it. And over the next couple of months, it's just going to be like absolutely amazing because we've gotten so many feedback on what clients want. And, you know, we got a huge engineering team that's just building. Some examples, the improvements I'm really excited about. One is ROI calculator, right? Like we are going to import in you're going to be able to input your financials essentially, and we're going to be able to tell you precise ROI for every one of your lead sources. And you can slice and dice that by agent, all that kind of stuff. So true ROI reporting. We are working on an even more sophisticated lead router, right? The goal of this is to route your best leads to best agents that are qualified to take those leads in that moment, right? And so we have a really sophisticated lead router that stack ranks your leads and, you know, offers the lead to your first place agent, second place agent, third place agent, et cetera, until someone accepts that lead and they're the best qualified to handle that lead, right? So really excited about that. One of the features that is just never before seen in the industry that we think is going to be an absolute game changer is AI grading, right? So for Maverick, for our Follow Boss clients, we're going to actually go in and we're going to pull every call recording that you have in Follow Boss, right? And we're going to use AI to grade those calls. We're going to actually tell you, hey, your average call quality for your agents was 5.7. Their LP Mama fill-in rate was 78%. Their appointment ask rate was X. Their appointment set rate was Y. Here's their talk time ratio. Here's, from an objection to disconnect. Here's all of the objections that we hear the most. And you're able to then drill into, for a specific agent, their lead, right? A conversation that's happened that scored low as an example, and see all of the details of that lead. What was their client motivation? What's their timeline, location of interest? All of this metadata, right, about the agent and about the lead, and then you click on recording link, you're going to be able to listen to that recording, right? And, where we see this game changer is that sales pipeline analytics we found, meaning your stage data, as an example, can be very dirty. We've seen showing requests that, that you think, oh my God, this agent has like 5 showing requests. And then you go in and inspect the lead and it's like, no one's talked to this person for 30 days. That's not a showing request, right? With call grading, it's objective data, right? It's going to tell you the sales quality of your agents from the get-go, right? And that's going to allow you to make decisions with the lead router and everything else to enhance to get the right leads to the right people, figure out who you're going to coach. And when you coach them, have concrete examples of how you're going to coach them, right? Barry, Gabe, anything to add here before I move on?
No.
Well, I know that this is, go ahead, Gabe.
No, I was just thinking, I think it's just bringing the data to the front, right? So that we can we can see what's going on, coach it and see it. And it's pulled right from in there. It's just the visibility of it makes it so much easier. No hunting.
Well, look, yeah, I mean, I'm looking for trends when I'm running my sales team. And what Maverick has enabled me to do is what used to take, I would do it once a quarter and it was annoying. And I would have to read through all who's got the closings, who's doing what, and then try to look into Follow Up Boss and see if I can find some trends and training opportunities. Well, now I'm able to do it every 3 weeks and it takes like 10 minutes because all I do is I log in, all the data, all the behavior, the success and the failures of Maverick are all being aggregated. And then I can reach out to my agents and say, and I'm not going to say it this way, but hey, you suck on the phone. Let's set an appointment to talk, right? And with this, what's beneficial about this is I don't know any team in America. I heard one guy say he does this, but I find it hard to believe, that listens to every call on their sales team. And to have a computer listen to every call for my sales team is invaluable. Because yes, I'm trusting AI to do the live transfer, but in order for me to make money, my agent has to not screw up the live transfer, right? And in order for my agents not to screw up the live transfer, they need to talk about things and do things in a certain way. And so to have that in Maverick, it's like hiring an $80,000 a year sales manager in a box. It's profoundly beneficial.
Awesome. And last thing, we have transaction management, full import and editing within the platform. We push this dual sync into Follow Up Boss deals. So we're going to take your transactions from a brokerman and then populate all the right data, get into our system, have really clean sales pipeline analytics, right? And these are just the things that we are working on through the end of January, right? So really proud of my team here for, building a great product from the get-go, but iterating on it to make it even better. Maverick is a sister company. You have to get a separate demo of Maverick, but it is something that has been a labor of love for everyone on the team for a while now. Woo! Hour and 20 minutes. Not bad.
Wow. You guys have been busy. Good stuff. All right. Well, we have a recording of the, of the webinar. We've got a list of all the questions that were, asked in chat and Q&A. Gabe, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think that we covered a lot, and it was high level. You brought up the training. I think just please watch. It's great that we build this. We put a lot of time in this, but now it's going to come down to the team to implement and use these new tools. So please come to office hours. Please watch for those additional webinars and trainings that we're doing, so we can go deep into that, with everyone, because it's going to be key not just to have it, but implement it and use it.
Barry?
Yeah, I would say that Ylopo is incredible radar for your market. By keeping the consumer's attention, by bringing them back to you, it's like having radar and seeing where the fish are in the pond, right? And now we're not only showing you where the fish are by bringing the people back, but now we're giving you new tools with AI to actually catch said fish. And so my recommendation for you guys is quiet the noise, spend the next 60 days mastering this amazing product, and ask questions. Email me, Barry at Ylopo. Here's Gabe's phone number. I'm just kidding. But email me, and we'll direct you to our training team. You need to learn how to do this. So instead of being a victim to the market, you have the opportunity to be a victor by leveraging the latest technology advancements in the industry to grow your business.
G?
A lot of work here. I mean, I echo what Howard said. I just can't believe the resilience of our team. It's kind of funny at the beginning of the year, I was like, well, it feels like we're on a hamster wheel and we're just staying in the same place. And then, I talked to my team and we basically said, let's just run harder. That's the way it works. Right. And that's what we're doing. That's everyone in the organization. Big shout out to all Ylopers on the call. And thank you for staying with us, sticking with us. And you're going to see a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, I mean, my take is that, we've all been, we're battling, like we've all been battling this past year, 2 years. We're preparing for more battles, next year. And, our role here is to provide you with as much armament, ammunition, weapons as possible. And you're just going to have a huge advantage over your competitors who don't have any and all this stuff. Well, what is any and all this stuff? This is a full circle of generating as many opportunities as possible, leads, buyers, really leading into sellers, right? Bringing them back to your site versus all the competition site. That's the nurture part. Communication, we're blowing the doors off of the communication piece now by adding AI voice that's way ahead of the competition to AI text working together, right? And then the final piece of Maverick of measuring all of it and seeing where there's water leaking out of the bucket and seeing where you can actually go and close more deals. It's literally become this journey that we've been on since 2016 to close this loop and to give you guys, that last mile was always a difficult last mile for us, right? With generating all these leads and bringing them back but that last mile of how do you stay in touch with all these people all the time? We don't have enough time in the day. Well, that's really what we're doing with AI. We're giving you all that time back and we're going to kind of do it for you. Because you have the time to talk to people, right? That's what you want to do. And that's what we're doing. So it's going to be a hectic year. It's going to be a crazy year. And, I'm praying for interest rates to come down a little bit more because there is massive pent up demand out there. And, you guys are going to be primed and ready as you dig in and learn these tools, primed and ready to feast on it. So huge thanks to Barry and to Gabe, realtors in residence who take this really seriously, who are practicing in the field, getting it ready for you guys to use. And they're there to coach you and brainstorm with you. Massive, massive thanks to G, leading the charge for all of product and technology, and all the product and technology folks at Ylopo who are breaking their backs for you guys. Yeah, this is going to be an amazing 2024. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate you guys spending some time with us. Very grateful.